Great stuff as Cook. It's fouled out. Ball comes loose. 49ers have it.
Hello everyone and welcome back to Injury Rounds. Unfortunately, we have another injury. On Sunday against the 49ers, Dalvin Cook had an injury to his left shoulder. With about 1:25 left in the third quarter, he was taking a handoff, moving to his right-hand side, and unexpectedly he received a hit. And during that hit, it moved him into his left side, created a fumble, but however, when he landed, all his weight went down onto his left elbow, and his left elbow went down into the ground. And when that left elbow went down into the ground, it caused we call a dislocation or a superior or anterior force to this humerus, causing a dislocation or damage to the shoulder joint itself. Now, later reports showed that there was a dislocation in that shoulder. There are no reports indicating whether that shoulder dislocated or was it subluxed, meaning did that shoulder pop out of joint and then come right back into place on its own? Was it dislocated and then on field did they relocate it, or did they relocate it back into the locker room? There are no reports of any of that sort. However, when you do have injury to that shoulder, in specifically a dislocation or even a subluxation with a directed force moving superior and anterior, that's going to create damage to the ligaments that live inside there. There are specific ligaments that live in this arm bone that connect the arm bone to the shoulder joint. That's what kind of keeps it together. And then you have the surrounding rotator cuff muscles that allow stability to happen within that joint. In the event of Dalvin Cook, I anticipate more of a 3 to 4 week recovery for his timeline. Normally, these dislocations or subluxations can take anywhere from 4 to 6 weeks, depending on the severity and damage to those ligaments and the surrounding structures. There are no reports indicating that there was any significant tear to the ligaments or there were any fractures to either the humerus bone or to the shoulder joint, what we call the glenohumeral joint, and that part, or even the labrum itself. Coach has even himself came out and said that there was no labral damage. In the event if there was no labral damage and no significant tear inside that shoulder, you can anticipate more of a 3 to 4 week recovery in the event of returning him back to sport. Week 1, we're reducing pain and inflammation and restoring range of motion. Week 2, we're trying to see if we can have rotator cuff strength and stability back into that shoulder joint. Week 3, now we're doing a lot of dynamic stability, dynamic functional strength. Can he tolerate himself in a single long stability, and can he have stability in that shoulder while performing multiple movements? Week 4, now we're return to sport. Can he do practice, and can he return to play? Dalvin Cook, again, is a running back in the NFL. He is going to incur multiple forces on that shoulder when he does return to play. Therefore, I anticipate that the Viking takes a more conservative route, make sure that he is healthy enough to play the game, and there is no risk for re-injury or dislocation of that shoulder joint. When you do have an injury to that joint, specifically in what we call a subacute condition, meaning several weeks have happened, there is a high likelihood and risk of re-injuring and redislocating that shoulder, specifically during high dynamic forces. So therefore, I anticipate more of a 3 to 4 week recovery. We are going to continue to monitor the reports just to ensure that he is making progress through practice and he's not having any setbacks. We'll also be looking out for the reports to ensure that he is making more of a speedy recovery, and then he might perhaps return a week earlier than expected. Continue to watch for more updates and stay tuned for Injury Rounds.